world map, a continent is missing, made up of servers, cables, and virtual interactions. It's an invisible land, yet it's where we now live. I've crossed this threshold, seeking the secrets of fan art. The treasure I seek today is everywhere, but it's hidden in plain sight. Though called fan art, it doesn't quite capture the mechanics behind it. Yet hidden in fan art is one of the original keys of online creation, one that anyone can grasp. I have to go back to the source, because here lies the origin of human artistic creations. I find the term fan rather pejorative. When we hear it, we imagine someone fanatical who loves something beyond measure or sense. A fan can be a worry to the artist, whose work triggers boundless worship among admirers. It is often implied that fan art is a sort of talentless copy of a beloved work. But this fan persona often hides a sea of creations and questions around more sensitive and complex processes. Yet when the term art is joined to fan, it often disparages it. In an art approach that values novelty and originality, reproduction is a talent often overlooked, yet essential at the start of any artistic journey. The internet and its digital image creation and processing tools have led to many vocations and uncovered unknown talents for those who didn't feel entitled to try their luck. But depending on your age and rank in the artistic hierarchy and the nature of your work, the fan art will change in status and value. Is it theft or a homage? Does this particular art deserve disdain or praise? What conditions our gaze so strongly when the work involves reproduction? I don't recall my first drawings, but I see my kids grow and discover art firsthand. I notice they start with abstract forms before quickly and freely turning to what comes to mind. A stick figure, a balloon, a castle, or a flower. As they get older and discover other art forms, such as cartoons, their style begins to change. I watch little dogs appear, vaguely resembling the Paw Patrol, or clumsy silhouettes of Mario popping out of a pipe. They quickly begin to draw what they like, using certain shapes and symbols that fascinate them. Should we see them as budding fan artists? Paths emerge for their potential artistry. One leads to academic art school, others to the solitary road of self-teaching. Learning on your own is hard, especially without internet and its many tutorials. The only weapon we have is imitation, a mimesis we feel has secrets to reveal to anyone willing to invest in it. Depicting a familiar form also helps reveal one's level, show off to others via a common benchmark. This allows to assess potential mastery. But reproduction is also a form of security. You draw what already exists, hide behind a known figure to avoid the risks of personal creation. An artist's belief in their own talent is a highly fragile flame that must be nurtured. It's important to keep hope in the early stage of learning, to guard the budding secret garden. The worst criticism comes when we lay ourselves bare in our art. The internet can be harsh when giving opinions. We're most exposed when discovering and dreaming of creating art. Losing confidence is terrible for any creative person. Imitation also aims to grasp an artist's secret that has captivated us. It's like reverse engineering, dismantling a piece to understand how it was made. Artists rarely mention or show this part of the practice, only showing their art once they consider it personal and accomplished enough. Some renowned artists mentioned artistic theft, which is to borrow and paint in the artist's style, hoping to develop their own. The Dali Foundation website displays the artist's work categorized by year. I was fascinated by his works prior to the birth of his distinctive style. For years, he literally copied the style of the artists he loved. Even once he became Dali, he continued to borrow motifs, such as Millet's Angelus or Böcklin's Isle of the Dead. Generally, an artist hides this experimental phase to erase their early influences, to defend their unique style and build a reputation. With no free TV access, I had no love for pop culture as a child. No Club Dorothée or The Never-Ending Story before the age of 16, when I could be emancipated artistically. I don't recall the first time I held a pencil with artistic intent, but I imagine that, like many, I felt lost before a blank page. All I remember clearly is the first thing I began to reproduce obsessively. Fascinated by horror figures, my first fan art was the mascot of a group that I'd never listened to then, yet still lived in my head. It was Eddie the Head, who represents the spirit of Iron Maiden. The monstrous child of artist Derek Riggs, an image that undoubtedly contributed to the band's success. His hideous face gradually covered every page of my school notebooks. At that time, it embodied a kind of transgression. Copying it was a learning curve beyond drawing. It opened doors to something greater. At first, proportions were clumsy, colors inaccurate, and the contrast off. Over time, with practice and reproduction, I began to grasp how to draw him. I saw the proportions better, lines felt firmer. I had better pencils, tried new styles. The work I tried to copy was like a silent teacher I had to faithfully imitate. It was both my model and judge. By switching from paper to model, you notice errors in the copy. In the process, we seek to see what works by noting what doesn't. Within it hides a learning curve that, along with motivation, guides those who cannot undertake formal studies. What applies to drawing applies to every art. A nascent band starts covering bands they like to test their technical abilities. In this sense, a cover is a kind of fan art in sonic form. When you first hold a camera, you try to reproduce iconic shots, getting one-day actors to recite cult classic lines. They are an attempt to reproduce a magic trick. By using existing work, we can apply our own difficulty curve, depending on what is easy or hard to copy. In the end, fan art is about discovering your own emerging style. In this copying phase, we see what we like and don't like. We set personal goals and start thinking about our toolkit. Fan art rarely reproduces the original subject exactly. There is always a discrepancy, a fragility, giving the copy an indirect strength. Original fan art tends to be a unique version that takes all the liberties with the character which the original artist might not allow themselves. As a universal echo chamber, the internet transformed these hybrid works, hidden in the bottom of a drawer, and created a new artistic field. Before it spread online, fan art existed in smaller practices and spheres. We did it for ourselves, a personal, secret hobby. We showed it at school or to art teachers, the only few people who might be interested in it. Those wanting to show them more officially sent them to a specialized magazine to appear in the reader's letters section, or hoped to meet the artist at a signing and gave it to them as a token of affection. So it had limited visibility before the internet floodgates opened. Computer users are connected to a virtual agora, allowing them to share work worldwide in an instant. a huge revolution we're still trying to figure out. While fan art may be overshadowed by it, it's a symbol of the quiet change internet has brought about. Before the internet came along, it was even hard to obtain the work of artists we loved. At 15, I recall scouring the CD bins at record shops, trying to find Nirvana bootlegs, which were pirated albums featuring rare songs or live recordings. While finding these had a certain appeal, there was a frustration from not having easy access to the work. Illegal downloading enabled unlimited and free access to those who were deprived of art for financial reasons. Society benefited as young talents emerged from social classes alienated from art by its cost and often intimidating nature. But aside from opening up culture, the internet has also enabled anyone to freely create and distribute content, including fan art. In a few clicks, I can search all about an artist, their work and also critical commentary about it. Hear about their influences in interviews, see their techniques from videos in the studio. You can now quickly delve into a universe and do so in great depth. And this access to an entire universe inevitably means that more people are likely to become fans. And they can share their love for certain work. All these admirers make up what is known as fandom, a diverse, often vocal, and highly creative group of fans that bring a franchise to life, discussing it in new places, using a multitude of new tools. If your fan art is liked, a community may notice you, and you can be part of a wider universe of work in areas often outside of the original canon. There may be a community of strangers ready to support your art, since you show love for the work they love. Some work has such an impact that fans need to feel part of it on a daily basis to keep the flame alive once the book or film is over. It's said that once shared, a work of art no longer belongs to its creator. The creation will lead a life of its own. The public may understand it or not, draw unusual conclusions, or generate devotion or hatred that the artist never imagined. Online, data flows are fast, unstoppable. Things can spiral out of control. Images are now at the core of cultural wars, and fan art is no exception to this. A fandom is further proof of the artist's dispossession and may seem a shift in the artist-audience relationship. Studios now seem to be more created to please fans than to offer unconstrained work, regardless of how it is received by any target audience. Fans now have a form of power, sometimes for the worse, others for the better. Works creating a universe may be blamed. In complex worlds with laws, aesthetics, and intricate plots, you reveal a host of possibilities. You unwittingly open the door to myriad stories that could fit into these gaps. Disney has been squeezing Star Wars world dry since acquiring the rights. It's no wonder then that fans who know the world even better than its authors decide to create their own little part of the universe. It's how fan fiction is popular on platforms such as Wattpad. Stories are now shared in a single click without the need of a publisher or spending money on printing. Stories that aim to build plots in a universe created by someone else. It's the case for the best-selling novel 50 Shades of Grey. The series of novels by E.L. James has an incredible origin story. They began as fan fiction based on the Twilight Saga, written by Stephanie Meyer. James took the characters of Bella and Edward and wrote intense erotic adventures. She posted them on her site and then on a platform for fan fiction. Her stories found an audience, and she saw she had enough for a full-length work. Wary of being accused of using characters she had no rights to, she changed the names before releasing the book. From self-publisher to global fame, James managed to transform her fan art into art in its own right. It's a long way from simple tribute drawings copying a character, yet the mechanism is similar. Our version of something that fascinates us. In this new power dynamic, today fan art is aimed more at the community than the creators. When a new title's released in a popular saga, hundreds of great fan art pieces of characters appear on social media. I'm thinking in particular of the superb works that appeared when the Elden Ring game was released. I played the game and followed online the avalanche of fan art from talented fans, sharing surprising and unique takes. Some offered a refreshing, unexpected twist. Elden Ring lived on outside of the game itself, all thanks to artists who also played the game. Out of curiosity, I looked at the artist's profile and discovered more works. I even began following some. Via their versions of famous characters, I discovered the style of a unique artist. Fan art today is so rich, creative, and high in quality that we must begin to question what we mean by originality. One can create totally new work that is boring, or copy something that already exists, and bring out the unexpected beauty in it. There's a key point here. Fan art now is more the work of established artists than admiring beginners. Artists have found with the internet a way to bypass the usual hierarchies. Before, to promote your work, you built a portfolio or application file, printed it in color, and sent it by post, knowing there'd be no reply. Today, an artist can create a free X account to promote their work, create a profile on ArtStation or on Instagram to post images and inspiration, a live stream on Twitch to show work in progress, and live chat with the audience. Now, many orders are made this way. People may ask an artist to create their version of Batman or Zelda and pay for it. It's not fan art's original intention, even if the motif recreated is already known. With money involved, fan art enters a grey area, as we question the motives behind creating a copy for personal gain. There's even a unique world of alternative film posters. Graphic designers reimagine film posters often with designs surpassing their originals. But art based on existing art is also a way of appropriating another's work. And this comes with a responsibility. Take Pepe the Frog, a character the American alt-right appropriated so much, the artist decided to kill off his character. There's also the famous Rule 34, which states that there is bound to be a sexualized version of every online character. Fan art can also convey a message or glorify a character's political ideas. Works that inspire fan art often move us beyond style. The context surrounding them can also send a message. Two fictional characters kissing, or Mario doing atrocities, a change from the originals that tell us something. Fan art can be very political, and any character can bear a flag for an unexpected cause. Copyright and ownership issues arise any time someone steals art for profit. But what about fan art? No one asks the artist before publishing. You may feel pride when you see your art go beyond your own sphere and become important to an enthusiastic audience. I suppose it's more pleasant than seeing it on hundreds of towels without your consent. Yet a whole field of fan art falls into a grey area. In the internet age, many create content and live off certain works. These issues apply in the case of the orders, but also apply to many online practices we see. What about fan games, memes, or trends reproduced hundreds of times? What about cosplay and modding, which alters or improves the rules and visuals of video games? Though they've exploded with the internet, it would be wrong to blame it for a process that existed long before it was created. If we see fan art as the process of creating a vision of an existing item, we can look back at all human creation and see most artists never start from scratch. The question applies to tattooing, for example. Tattoo artists do all they can to deliver a personal vision, but the client often wants a specific motif that's known or iconic. So how is this different from fan art? And artists adapting mythological figures? Directors tackling a classic text? What about music samples, parodies, and remakes? Ultimately, it is quite rare for a story or work of art to cover completely new ground. I believe artists should strive to be original, no matter what. Even with Batman, which is not original, I try to create a unique version. While I cherish the quest for originality, I'm aware it's almost an unattainable dream. Most works borrow, and provided this contributes to dialogue between artists, this movement should be seen as part of art. It only needs a key element to alter the original that you are using for yours to be unique. That's when we say we're revisiting, deconstructing, and reinventing a work. Is The Magnificent Seven an official fan art of 7 samurai, as the rights were paid for? In art, we often ask where the line is between homage and plagiarism. How does what influenced us in our artistic training show up in our creations? This raises a complex question about creating things never seen before, not closely or remotely related, even unconsciously, to already created, written, or conceived work. We don't create in a void. We are connected to a visual universe and a never-ending world of ideas. Everything influences us. Whoever decides to create will draw on what moved, angered, or challenged them. Work that inspired them to start, or speeches that shaped their vision. We are sponges, and artists sublimate what they squeeze out. Yes, techniques change and sometimes offer a novelty, but even then, creations are part of art history and will inevitably be linked to this noosphere. We often share an idea we believe to be original, yet it's dismissed by others who cite work that existed long before you. Even innovations don't just appear, they address a need we want to improve. The devices fan art often dismisses are more common and normalized in art history. If the original material has been successfully sublimated or turned into something so different, it ends up having its unique role. What would you create if you'd never seen art before? I ask myself this whenever I get to see cave paintings. Whatever the true purpose or meaning of these works, it was a turning point. A torrent that still flows today, forming an infinite ocean of artistic performances. These humans represented the things they saw, which were their main concerns or even their beliefs. As soon as humans used images to depict human adventure, an invisible dialogue began among all artists. A unique process of loving, understanding, reproducing, and surpassing to deliver something new, something of their own. Art is a tapestry nurtured with new threads, new colors. Creating new things expands this tapestry, but is still tied to the original piece. Trying to do a non-existent thing is to base it on what exists and consciously deny it. Behind every clumsy piece of fan art, behind every unfinished verse or text, may lie the first steps of a famous artist in the making. In this sense, fan art is a ticket to a greater adventure, that of creation. And through doubt, hard work, and exploration, there may be a place waiting for you.